Hello YouTube. Welcome to Creative Works by Alicia. Um, on this channel, I will be doing a bunch of different creative things. Some are craft related, some will be vintage or antique. And if that's something that you think you'll enjoy, please consider subscribing to my channel. Today, I wanted to come on real quick. I am planning on doing a lookbook, so to speak. And I'm going to have in this lookbook, I'm just going to maybe kind of pay homage to some beautiful black women through history. I plan to do one of the characters that I plan to, I'm not trying to look like these people. I'm not trying to, I'm just trying to maybe dress in a style that I think that they would have worn based on pictures that I've seen and the period. And I'm just, just a couple of different styles. So I plan on doing first is for the first little mini series is Aretha Franklin and Hattie McDaniel. So that should be coming. I should probably have that video out maybe next week. But today I wanted to come on real quick and tell you not only about that, but I did want to have a quick video just indicating a few fun facts that I thought you might enjoy of things that I found out while doing some research on a couple of different things. I've been researching a lot on vintage, antique, lifestyles, clothing. So I came across some things that I thought were very interesting, and I thought maybe there were other people out here that may not know about this and may find these things interesting. So one of the things that I found out was when I was researching on the vintage or antique metal mesh bags that were more prevalent, I believe, in the 1920s and 30s. And apparently, and these I think these bags probably first came out maybe in the late 20s, early 30s, and they were popular on through the 40s. You will see a lot of the mesh bags, when people were wearing the flapper dresses and everything. But apparently, there was a hint found in a solving home problems of a Popular Mechanic magazine from October of 1949, 45 rather. And in Popular Mechanics of 1945, there in this section of solving home problems, one of the uses for an old mesh bag, if it could no longer be used, was to use it as a scouring pad or a pot scrubber, because the metal was good for cleaning up, these type of surfaces. And they thought that the bag, of course, could last a long time as a scouring pad, and it was easy to clean. So I thought that was an interesting fact, and I thought to myself, maybe that's why you don't see a lot of the metal mesh bags around, because maybe a lot of women back then, when the bag could no longer be used, then they, to carry rather, then maybe they did use it as a scouring pad or a pot scrubber, which made sense. And then they, they used it until, it could no longer be used for that, and probably discarded it, which is what I'm finding a lot in my research as I'm looking through stuff, that a lot of clothing and other items had multiple uses, and things were used until they could no longer be used, for what they were intended to be used for. And then people used them like, say for clothes, when they could no longer be worn, or, they were, or passed down to anybody, maybe they were given to children to make, doll clothes out of, used as rags. And then, in the end, maybe they were used to stuff, make a stuffed pillow or a stuffed animal or something like that. So, maybe stuffed teddy bear, as far as an animal or something like that for a child to play with, or, throw pillows for the sofa. So, I am finding that, it seems like, back then in like the 40s and the 50s and the 60s, people just used up everything until it couldn't. There was absolutely nothing left. It wasn't a thing as just throwaway. You wore it once and you threw it away. You wore it until there was no longer any use out of it. Another fun fact that I found was, and this made me think of things that my mother said in the 1900s. In the early 1900s, prior to the 1900s, of course, necklines were very high. You had necklines up to here. And when in the 1900s, when necklines started to come down and women, were allowed to wear, something that was a V-neck, and I'm quite sure probably then it was just, it was probably a high V-neck, a V-neck or a square neck, but it was considered, something scandalous to have any part of the chest showing. And when they made these blouses that showed part of the chest, the blouses were named pneumonia blouses, which made me think of, like when your mother would see you, if you would go out and you would have a blouse on and it exposed your chest, your mother would say, you better cover up, you're going to catch pneumonia. And I always wondered where all these little things came from, what made her say that. And, I find myself that I said the same thing to my kids, when you're going out, wrap your chest up, you're going to catch pneumonia. And I wonder if it came from that, because they were considered pneumonia blouses. And, my mother was born in 1930. So it seems like if that was something that was said, anytime the chest was exposed, you're going to catch pneumonia, it would have carried down. So, I thought that was a fun fact. And then I came across something in the 18th century. In the 18th century, of course, women were wearing bustle dresses. Bustle, where during the late part of the 18th century, 1885, the bustle dress or skirt part of the bustle skirt, the lines of it were almost, it came almost L-shaped. It came, the outfit came down the back and then almost like an L, and then it dropped off, like had a waterfall drop off. And I believe this style of dress with the bustle was something that was, very high fashion. And I'm gathering that during the 1885 and 1887, the bustle became the longest that it had ever been. Which, when you think about it, when you look at period clothing from like the 18th century, and Victorian clothes and everything, I do see where that style would be something that would be very comfortable to wear, very I could see where you wouldn't have any sort of body image issues, I would think, because no one knew really what size you were underneath. They didn't know if you had big hips or a big behind, because everything was so covered and so and the dresses were so exaggerated and voluminous with all the petticoats and everything that you really didn't know. But anyway, getting back to the bustle skirt. So apparently a French designer in 1887, an English inventor in 1887 came up with the idea for a bustle skirt that actually played music. And it played God Save the Queen, and it was supposed to be to celebrate Queen Victoria's golden jubilee. I don't know about that, but music coming from your butt. I mean, I would imagine this English inventor would have had to be a man. No woman would want music coming from her behind. So apparently, I'm guessing that probably didn't go over too well. But I thought it was really interesting that someone would even think that would be fashionable. But I guess that's probably like, if you look at that being like sort of the, like avant-garde, like when you have different fashions that come out with fashion shows, and it's really showing things that nobody would ever really wear, but it's pushing the limits. Maybe that's what this person was doing. Maybe he was just pushing the limits of fashion to say what could be. Maybe it was something that he really didn't want to market. So, but I thought that was very interesting. And I also thought interesting was the Snood. Um, Back when I was a teenager, they would have you could get like what we called them was a crocheted hairnet. And I would wear it, on the back of my head, like you would see it, like when you look at the older magazines. And I always thought they were beautiful. I would wear it on the back and sometimes have a flower on the side. Well, what I didn't know is I just assumed, I don't know why I did, but I just assumed that that was something that I didn't think it was anything that had been around for centuries, ages. And I never associated a snood with the medieval gall or caul, I should say, caul. I never associated with that. But when you look at like, movies from like a Merlin or something like that, now, I see it, when you start researching stuff, you kind of see a lot of things and you're like, oh, okay, I get it. But also that the snood or the had sort of a resurgence during the wartime, because of course women during the First World War, were taking, their husbands' jobs because their husbands had went off to war, and whatnot, and there was a shortage. And to keep their hair from getting caught in machinery, they wore those, and that was something that could keep their hair neat and they could still look stylish. And you could wear it anywhere. It was acceptable to wear it, at home, in the office, to the supermarket. It wasn't something that was considered like like a hairnet or something that you would wear just around the house, or something like a bonnet, a sleeping bonnet that you would just wear around the house. This was considered something that was fashionable, and it could be used, in many different ways. So I thought, that was interesting because I had not realized that snoods had been around for so long. I don't know why I didn't think that, but, when I'm doing this research of a lot of different things, I am finding that what's old is new again. I mean, that saying is actually really true. And I just, I just didn't, I don't know why, I just didn't think that way. And I'm going to close with my last thing that I came across. It seems I'm the only one who didn't know about this because I've talked to a couple of people and they known about this, but I didn't. The kitty litter face powder. Apparently in the 1990 issue of Outline Press, in the Feud section, beauty queen Raquette Holstein recommends that items purchased in the local supermarket be used as inexpensive beauty wares. The recipe for cat box litter, face mask, and dry shampoo was one of the things that she recommended. Now, you're supposed to grind up a cup or two of Johnny Cat litter. Supposedly, you have to use Johnny Cat litter because Johnny Cat litter is supposed to be practically, I don't know what practically means, but practically all natural. And it is clay based. So I guess this is the main property, it being clay based, and that clay is supposed to be good for the face. But you're supposed to take that and grind it up in a blender, of course, in parentheses, before the kitty gets to it. I would hope no one used cat litter for this. Until powdery, and transfer into a bowl. I'm just not understanding. Unless maybe in 1990 there weren't dollar stores around, and there could be well that there weren't, because why would you put this in your blender? I mean, I would imagine after you grind kitty litter in your blender, you can no longer use it for food. I mean, who would do that? And then you're mixing egg white with it and you're putting it on your face. But what really got me was putting it in your hair for a shampoo, and then you have to wash it out of your hair with shampoo. I'm not understanding the point. And then Holstein also recommends putting some pulverized litter into a compact and using it for face powder once a week. Yeah, like I want gray, ashy looking cat litter on my face. Yeah, yeah. So I thought that was interesting. So I just wanted to, come on and just, talk about a couple of things that I came across that I thought was a little bit a little bit strange, a little bit interesting. And also, before I close out this video, on each of my videos that I do, I'm going to try to have something where I'm not sure what the item is, and if somebody out there can help me figure out what the item is. Okay, this is a set that I purchased. I'll bring this in so that you can see it. I purchased these items at an estate sale. It's supposed to be Czechoslovakia. Supposed to be made in Czechoslovakia, and it's supposed to be this says 1869. So it's supposed to be from the 18 or 1900s. I assume this is for face powder. This, of course, would be for your perfume. This, I'm not sure what this is for. And, it has this little, I don't know. This part appears to be glass. It has a little mark on it. Looks like, I don't know if it's a number 9 or a B or what it is. So it's some type of a stopper, but I'm not sure what you would use this for on your nightstand. I do think this is a beautiful set, and I purchased the set, like I said, at an estate sale, and I was told that it was authentic. Whether or not it is, I don't know. I purchased it because I thought it was beautiful, and I believe the lady charged me $20 for all 3 pieces. So I thought $20 for all 3 pieces was not, a bad thing. It does appear to be, though, old. So it doesn't appear to be anything that's new. So I just wanted to know if anybody could tell me. I've been trying to look up the style of glassware. I believe it might be bohemian, but I'm not sure. I'm not sure if it's authentic. The flowers on the pieces are raised. You can feel them. They're like, a relief, like, set away from the gilding on here. I don't really know anything else about that. I can't find anything in any books about it per se. It could have been something that maybe if you went to Czechoslovakia, that was a tourist thing, I'm not sure. And that all these bottles do have this little image. It looks like a B or a P or a 9, but it has a little tail that's either on the top or the end, depending on how you turn it. But I don't know what this is for. I've been trying to figure it out. I figure I have the face powder container and the perfume atomizer, but this, I don't know if it's for an oil. If somebody knows what this could be for, or if there's any way I can find out any more information about this set, or maybe even find out if this set is truly authentic, if somebody can let me know in the comments, I would appreciate it. So thank you very much. Thank you for taking out the time to listen to my video. Thank you for taking the time to out of your day to even take consideration of my channel. If you think this is something that you might like to see more things like this, and if my channel is something you think you might be interested in, like I said, it will be all things creative. I may have something about making cards one day, stamping one day, making t-shirts one day, vintage the next. It's going to be like a hodgepodge of different things because, like I said, I am kind of creative and I'm a little bit eclectic in my creativity. I'm not just focused on one thing. I like many things. So if there's something you think you like, please consider subscribing. Thank you and have a nice day.